I often say, let's do the heart-to-heart hug. Maybe we can start a trend. People go, where's my heart? Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Let's see. I have to get my pages in order. I just want to say a little bit about what it's been like at the Home of Truth since 1984, when a lot of my friends and I started coming here and bringing our kids and doing all kinds of fun things. And in the days before techie tools, we could pack this place. In fact, we had to watch sometimes what the fire code was with some of our events, how many people we could have here. And it's been truly instrumental in so many ways and a catalyst for my whole life. And I've been coming here, I think, over half my life. Yeah, it's been a place of inspiration and support, and I truly love the teachings and everybody who adds their own spiritual power. And we definitely are a community. Please sit comfortably. Let's have a meditation, a beginning prayer. Feel the chair's support. Just relax. Let go of whatever you had to leave when you left home, and just let's all be present. Mother, Father, God, the loving and eternal source of all that is, we know your presence surrounds each one of us at every moment in our lives. We acknowledge that we reflect your goodness wherever we may be, and as we listen within to that still small voice, we are grateful and guided to see through any perceived challenges right directly to the light which surrounds each one of us. May we be beacons of love and live a life within knowing that what blesses one blesses all. Compassion is our commitment. Today we reaffirm and trust that there is an ever-flowing peace along with many resources available to us in our communities, which help all of us connect and move forward to make beneficial differences within ourselves, our family, friendships, communities, and beyond. For our many spiritual teachings and paths, and all who have cared for and inspired us with their expressions of love, we give thanks. Let us be open to releasing judgments and preconceived notions about ourselves and others. May we choose again and return to our purpose of accepting the power of love, which is manifesting in so many ways each day. With humility and grace, we release this prayer into the universal divine mind, knowing that we are all connected to each other, to nature, and to the vastness of life, from a distance and right here, right where we are. And so be it. Thank you. Well, I must say that I'm grateful to be able to get by with not very much sleep, because I was up till 3 a.m. And I thought, I think I can finish my draft for today and for the memorial. I think I can be in bed by 11. That was my vision. In any case, I just kept trusting, because sometimes we're in a situation where we have no other choice, right? We want to get this done. So for me, it quiets the mind. I actually am so grateful to be asked to speak here, because it has me focus on how I want to live my life, what I want to share, and to really not wander around like I'm a multitasker. And I think I get more done like that, but there's a book written that you don't, but anyway. I shared it with my daughter. She goes, "That's you, Mom, that's you." So recently, I went to several nonprofit events, and also drove to Los Angeles area to Occidental College Legacy meeting, and I saw people I hadn't seen for a long time, and plus I met new people. So truly this idea of community has been on my mind. it seems like I can feel bonded to people immediately in many cases. And that's also why I'm a free spirit. I very much admire people who are in a relationship where they see the same people every day and this and that. However, I am a community person, as Isha Nagel told me years ago. For you, Nancy, couples are boring. You're a community person. So I appreciate her giving me that permission. Well, we study many New Thought principles, and we also embrace truths in many faith traditions that shift us from fear to love, from doubt to trusting, from feeling alone and to experiencing that we are all in this life together. And think of some people in history who've, under very, very dire circumstances, have come through and been beacons of light, beacons of truth. And they have made a huge difference. We read about them, we hear about them. Some of them we've met. I was maybe 15 feet from Nelson Mandela at Clinton's inauguration. Woo, one of my heroes. And Alma, the hugging saint, she looks more beautiful than ever. We just had her visit downtown Oakland at the hotel. And just her presence is wonderful. And I'd turn around and see people that I knew and I hadn't seen for a long time. So I realized that was divine order. And closely, we had been at a distance, and we got to reconnect. Let's see. As most of you know, I bring books to share, and I like to look at spiritual principles being written about and talked about in science and consciousness with people who are therapists working in 12-step programs. There's so many avenues. Most of us were raised in Christian traditions, so we have the Bible, but there are so many other amazing spiritual tomes. And Matthew Fox, the excommunicated Catholic priest, for saying Mother, Father, God, an original blessing, he says it's like a hand, and everything leads to love. All traditions at their core. So I've been thinking about how we say taking the high road, especially when Amy selected From a Distance, which is one of my favorite songs. And it is a higher viewpoint, stepping back. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of a news junkie. And again, I multitask. I also have to have something to do, inputting something in QuickBooks or doing my Duolingo during the commercials. But I want to know what's happening, and I want to look for the goodness that is being manifested and womanifested in our world. I want to observe the change and the transformation. And also From a Distance, in the news are the two astronauts who are kind of stuck in space. So Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore, and I saw a picture of them online. They look like really happy. They're just kind of hanging around. Well, I can't really go anywhere. They're really bonding. But can you imagine being stranded way out there? They left in the Starliner, the Boeing Starliner. We'll give them a little plug. They better fix this. On June 5th. And the latest estimate is that they'll be able to return in February.
Oh, my God.
And I didn't know, but there are a lot of people out there in space living, and I Googled and heard something about that's where we will start populating. I don't know, I'd rather be here, but to each his own. Another astronaut was one of my favorites, Edgar Mitchell. He was deeply affected by his time in space. He was the 6th person to walk on the moon. He's quoted, "You develop an instant global consciousness looking back at the blue dot." Well, I made that blue dot part open. I made that up. But you develop an instant global consciousness, a people orientation, an intense dissatisfaction with the state of the world, and a compulsion to do something about it. From out there on the moon, and he was the 6th person to go there, international politics look so petty. You want to grab a politician by the scruff of the neck, and pardon me for saying the rest of it, he said, and drag him or her 250,000 miles out and say, look at that, you SOB. Unquote. So for Mitchell, that realization sowed the seeds of his next mission, which was in 1973 when he founded the Institute of Noetic Sciences. That's the same year I moved here to be a flight attendant, to see the world from 40,000 feet and higher. It's in Nevada now, which promotes state-of-the-art thinking in the science, consciousness, and spirituality realm. They have magazines, they have speakers, now you can get everything online, like science and inner knowing. And then Judith Skutch was a part of IONS, and she was speaking at one of their events years ago, and someone told her about A Course in Miracles. That resonated with her. In fact, it gives me chills. She left IONS and embraced the teachings, and in 1975, she founded the Foundation for Inner Peace, which published A Course in Miracles, which actually I heard about from the man who inspired me to play the piano again years ago in 1980, Jeremy Levin, and I was at his house practicing, and he was teaching me, and he crawls underneath his grand piano, and he goes, there's something I want to share with you, and he gave me the 3 books of A Course in Miracles. So you just never know how one thing leads to another. It's now been translated into over 27 languages. Last I heard, when I used to have Course in Miracles conferences, Marianne Williamson was talking about 14 languages. So it's like at least double. And what I love about the Course in Miracles, among other things, is it's kind of intense. There's the text, which is many, many pages. There are 365 lessons, and the purpose is to shift our perception from fear to love. That's a lot of reading just to do that. And then they have the manual for teachers. It says we're all students and teachers. But the cool part is, and I facilitated a group here, that's actually what brought me here. One of my real estate clients says, I think you'll like something going on at that place on Grand, the Home of Truth. It says, and I've quoted this before, now that you've done this course and these lessons and shifted your perception from fear to love, what do you think you're supposed to do? Listen only to your inner teacher. I still read a lot of books, but imagine listening only to your inner teacher. What a gift that is, to trust yourself from fear to love. And I've been channeling Judith, yes, because she is known for spreading kindness and joy wherever she went, and she knew that was her purpose, wherever she would go. So that's what I call my new job, since I'm semi-retired from other things. My new job is spreading peace, love, and good vibes. And yes, I do community organizing. I was a teacher. I've been a housing provider, as they call us, and creating lots of benefits, and grateful that I can write checks. I always say, I don't want to be on the front line. I want to just write checks. Yeah, I did wallpapering, I did painting, I beat out cracks and all that. No, my manual labor is paying Manuel, paying Juan, paying everybody else who does the work, and writing checks for people who start these wonderful nonprofits, which enhance every community. And based on what I know about the Hunger Project and many, many others, the most powerful thing they can do is to teach other people how they can make a difference in their own communities based on their own ideas. Like, why give someone a toilet when they don't want a toilet? They want a composted hole in the ground, or they need some electricity. They don't need something that we might think. It's just fascinating. And in fact, in 1979, that was my inspiration to start putting events together. Let's see. Oh, speaking of from a distance, this song reminds me of when I decided to fly airplanes. And I had a wonderful boyfriend I met in junior high, and we were in high school together. He was a year ahead of me in his college. and he went in the Navy and learned how to fly, and so he would fly around out of Van Nuys in this little aircraft. He did not make it back from a final mission in Vietnam, yet he taught me how to play tennis, how to ski, and my interest in flying. And when I heard myself say, like in another voice in a workshop in the mid-'80s, what I really want to do is be a pilot. Whoa, who said that? So be open to your inner voice spouting off something that you go, I think that's the wrong channel. But it wasn't really to get, I realized later, it wasn't really to get a license. It's expensive. It's dangerous. It was a part of my life where I could see from above. And I looked down, and whatever was going on in my life that was a conflict, I went, look at, these are just houses. These are roads, trees, nature. You know. And later, when I heard about Edgar Mitchell, I went, that's exactly it. It doesn't matter all that stuff. We can rise above it and see it for what the universe is. Just want to read a few things from some books. I always bring books. Prior unity is the basis for a new human civilization. This fellow Adida says, think about when the Berlin Wall came down, and we had a German girl living with us at that time. And she and some of her friends were wondering, are they going to all like bombard us and take our jobs and our housing? And they were joyous, the pictures of people climbing over the wall and greeting their fellow human beings. It was beautiful. So he says that we are a civilization now, but we come from prior unity. So that's the basis of that. And turning on the light, this is Timeless Wisdom from Eric Butterworth, and you can go online and get all kinds of pamphlets from Unity. Plus, in my handout, there's the prayer line for Unity and Science of Mind, and you can get monthly audio meditations. They're very short and sweet. We know that we can spread our light. In our relationships, any circumstances, look within yourself gently and lovingly and discover your divine gifts of love and peace. We don't have to be a star in a show. We can spread our little magical, loving fairy dust wherever we go. Science and spirituality and medicine. My housemate, who's a microbiology professor, she goes, I want to read that. I said, like Leslie, you need something else to do, but I want her to read it. Len Saputo, like many people in the medical field, have realized the power of spirituality in what they do and in connecting with people on that level. Perhaps our most important and meaningful purpose on earth is to grow spiritually. We all have a spiritual work to do, and we know it. Most of the time it may be obvious and seem simple, but it's rarely easy. It's necessary to stretch beyond our comfort zones, overcome our fear of the unknown. This may lead to finding joy in the process and the inevitable shift from wanting to satisfy our own narcissistic needs. Do certain people that you know in your life or have heard about come up in your mind? Okay. Needs to wanting to share, give, and love unconditionally so as to make others happy. We must learn that love is for giving and graciously receiving, never for taking. Science, spirituality, and medicine is always what we live with when we go to the doctors, when we even follow a recipe or turn on our oven. So we're always in the flow of those three things. Upworthy, this is a book, I don't know even how I found it, but I had to wait a long time on Amazon for it. Good People, Stories from the Best of Humanity. One of my friends who studied with me at the University of Madrid, he used to say, boy howdy. I don't know, he's from Iowa or Ohio. I mean, maybe that's a phrase. But there was a woman in a cafe, and she saw an older woman. And she started talking to this woman, and the woman turned out to have gone to law school, and she gave her LSAT test booklet so this young woman could go to law school, and she became an attorney. She wanted to be an example for her younger sisters. Why? She was the oldest of three. Where was her father? In prison. Where was her mother? She was an addict and left the family. But just in the process of serving coffee or donuts, who knows what it was, she was in the right place at the right time and open. There's another one of car help. And the only time I've had flat tires, there's been someone there to change it. One time it was a boyfriend, another time it was outside of my office. So now I need some people to help me charge my sports car again in my garage. Some things I never learn, I have to keep repeating. Keep the trickle charger on and drive that car. Anyway, I'm forgiving myself. So as Margaret Mead said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. So Kathy with her Express Yourself, and Marilyn with what she does, and Jeffrey who was in insurance, and our like a spiritual coach, counselor, Jason, through singing, through all that you've done, Barbara, and when you were an attorney, and oh my gosh, Randall, with what you've created around here and changed and beautified with your skills, and Betty, chief cook and bottle washer, you name it. If you want something done, there's your girl. And then all the music. And on stage, imagine all the people that you connect with, and whatever the subject matter is, one play can make a difference. So let's be a local part of ending global wars and do our best to get along with those who seem different from us. We can be kind, we can stay open, we can listen, especially to our inner voice, and shift always from fear to love. And it can be in a moment. Because how many of you find yourself getting a little irritated about something? So notice what you do. Do you like tell someone and go on and on, ad nauseum, and you can see them kind of going? One time one friend told me, change your story. I'm tired of hearing that. And I went, yeah, I was tired of it too. They were entertaining in some ways, but it was very interesting how that shift occurred. And I had to forgive myself for a lot of things, for bending people's ears, although later they said, oh, tell me another story. I go, no, I'm not there anymore. But please look at your handout, and you can see wonderful, inspiring quotations and information from Science of Mind. They have a 12-step prayer format, which is very handy. And I mentioned a lot of unity things. This is all new thought. And also the golden rule. I've handed out the golden rule in handouts in the past, but you can see what I mentioned earlier. Matthew Fox, all the fingers, all the paths lead down to one word. Tell me what that is. Yeah. Love, peace, and good vibes. Let's have our closing prayer now. And I'm going to use an introduction I got from my friend Dr. Jack Miller, who's coming soon to stay with me a while and work with people on deep grieving and loss. So if you know anybody who wants to get through a serious loss, you can contact me. He's fun too, and he has Jungian background, and so I've seen the transformation. Okay, please sit comfortably, take a few breaths, feet on the floor, hands on your lap, left hand up, right hand down. So you're going to receive and let go. Receive and let go. You can repeat it to yourself. Heal me where I am in the deepest need of healing. Grant that I might serve you with my life. Give me all that I need to do your will. Help me to be an effective instrument of your healing power. I serve for the joy of serving. Take these words into your whole being. Open to divine imagination, divine wisdom, divine intelligence within. I am inspired to serve. I give wholeheartedly, drawing from my passion, my gifts, and my resources. Joyous service brings great happiness and satisfaction to all whose lives I touch, and from all whose lives touch mine. For all that I have received, I am filled with the energy and desire to give of myself, my time, energy, love, and understanding. I am generous because I reflect the abundance and love of God, my source. My service is the expression of love in action. Wisdom opens my mind and my eyes to countless opportunities to serve. Even the smallest and most inconspicuous or unappreciated task is made holy when it is filled with love. Regarding any perceived differences in worldviews, I am willing to give the gift of my full attention. I am fully present and open-hearted with compassion and non-judgment. I create a safe and welcoming space. I offer a listening ear and gentle words of encouragement. Guided by love, I feel a sense of rightness and right timing in all that I do. I give thanks for my ability to serve as I am directed, and for the satisfaction that I find in full self-expression and in sharing my blessings. I am grateful that my service is a joy-filled experience that touches the lives of others and also touches mine. I affirm right now this is my path from today forward, and look for all the signs that we are all connected in community and to our divine source. In gratitude and with a joyful, trusting heart, I let go, I let God, and I am led to my highest good. And we end with that which is right is unfolding in my life. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Blessings.